overdub recording. So how are you able to overdub? How are you able to record multiple times on the event series? And actually, this dates way back to the Audio series. We had this feature on the Audio. We had this on the SD9 Pro and its variants, and it's also available on the event. Let's say you have a piece of music you want to record, but again, you only have 2 hands and 2 feet, and you're limited with what you can perform, right? So sometimes you have to punch in when you're doing a recording. In other words, be able or overdub a particular track. How do you do that on the event? Let me try with this particular style, because this is gonna be a good example. All right, I'm gonna go in here, and I'm going to pick. Let's see here, user unplugged. Go to the last page, and go to this particular one here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to record something, okay? And I'm going to come back and use that recording, play the recording, and record another additional piece in addition to that recording. And you can do this as many times as you wish. Again, you have a 240 gigabyte SSD drive in there, so really it depends on how much space you have in that drive. But this is the whole idea. Record as much as you can on the first track, come back and play that, and then record additional material so that the second recording will have the content of the first recording plus whatever you did on the keyboard. Something like this. Okay, and now that you've done something like we just did right now, of course, got carried away with that style made by Cassava. So you now have your first recording, right? You've done the first recording, and of course you can just simply hit play and listen to it. Want to check your levels, make sure you're not peaking too much into the red. Okay, so you look at the screen, you have that the view meters. You want to make sure that it doesn't really stay in the red. That way it's not saturated or doesn't clip. Okay, so we've done that before, and now we're like, okay, this sounds okay. So I want to save this. All right, this is going to be my first wave stereo track. I'm going to save that. So I'm going to go here and say yes, I want to save that recording. And for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to call this Zouk1. Okay, I call that file Zouk1, and that's an audio file, which of course you can now go back and play or transfer to a USB stick and take to your performance. All right, but that's not what we want to do. So where did that file go? Remember the previous video I told you that whenever you use the media, whenever you use the drive, the last folder that you access or that you use is where any recording is going to go. So in this case, we didn't use anything, so it's going to go into the root directory. So if I go down here and go down to the bottom, I should see that file, Zouk1 wave, and I can play it back, right? So this is a wave file. Everything done on the keyboard, mix everything done, ready to go. Now I want to do an overdub. So what I want to really do is I want to play this file while recording something else. So what I want to do now, I'm going to set my keyboard up for the voices that I want to use in that other recording. So in this case, I want to say I want to add pad, adjust the volume, add a second voice there, which is a strings. Remember, although KETRON calls these voices, these are actually combination of sounds. So voice 1 can be a combination of up to 3 voices, and voice 2 can be another combination of 3, making it 6, right? And if you want to see those voices, you simply press voice 1 and voice 2 together, and it gives you that string. So in this case, voice 1 is made up of 3 voices. Voice 2 is actually made up of 1 that is on right now, but I can turn the other ones on and off, you know, as I perform. So I'm going to use this particular. That sounds okay. So now I'm setting the keyboard up for my other recording, because remember, you won't have time to do this once you engage the recorder, right? So I'm going to do that. I want these to be background sounds. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit. So now I'm going to be a little bit smart. I'm going to go into the recorder. So make sure that you go to the player and it is where you want it to be at, all right? Because you don't have time to come back and be searching. So my player is set to play this wave file as soon as I come in here. I'm going to go back to my recording and I'm going to make sure it's audio, which is what I did before. It's already there. And once I hit the record, I'm going to come back and hit the player and play that first file. So while that first file is playing, it's going to be recorded into this new file in addition to whatever I'm doing on the keyboard, like this. And I can go back into the recorder to verify. Okay, so if my calculations are correct and I press the right buttons at the right time, if I hit play, I'm going to hear what I just recorded, which is the first track I played plus the additional material I recorded. Let's give it a shot. So I actually overdubbed, right? Exactly like I said. So now I can say, you know what, I'm going to hit it save, and I'm going to save this one now, yes, as Zouk 2, right? So let's go over to the screen here so you can see what I'm doing. I've saved it as Zouk 2. Now if I hit enter, I now have two audio files in there. The original one, which was just my style and what I did or what I was able to do at that time. And the second file is that recording plus what I just did right now. And I can make a third and a fourth and a fifth, right? So now if I go into my player, get out of the recorder, in my player I have two audio recordings right now, right? So if you go to the screen, you're going to see Zouk 1 and Zouk 2. And what is Zouk 2? Zouk 1 plus the additional material that I added on Zouk 2. So now I can hit play, all right, and play that WAV file or put that on a USB stick if I am done my recording. But I can, again, like I said before, I can even go further with this, right? That's that audio file. I can say, hey, listen, set the keyboard up. I'm going to go now. I want to add some synth voices. Let's see. That sounds okay. I'm just going to use that as just to accent the recording. So again, I'm going to go back now into my recorder. Again on audio. Hit record and right back into my player to hit play and start playing Zouk number 2. Now, in that case, I made a mistake. It was a little bit too loud there, right? So I can stop that recording and then do it again. I'm not going to save it because I made a mistake in this particular case. So I'm going to go again and start all over, adjust my volume the way I want, hit record, player 1, save audio recording. No, I don't want to save it, so I don't want to do that. I want to go back into my recorder. Again, hit record, go to my player, Zouk 2. But you get the point, right? So now I'm going to hit my, just for the sake of speeding this up, hit save, stop recording first of all. It's going to do its thing, okay? And hit save, recording, yes. And guess what? Yes, you got it. I'm going to call this one Zouk 3 or Zouk Final, right? This is my final recording. All right, so now in this case, I'm done, okay? Done with that demonstration. But if I now go and want to play this or want to exchange this with a friend of mine, guess what I'm going to do? Go into my player, get out of my recorder, and I have Zouk Final there. If I hit enter, it's going to play all of these together with whatever I recorded. And that's my final recording. And I didn't even have to go to any big fancy studio to get this quality of work out of the KETRON events. Well, you didn't have to. You did the original tracks, right? And on that note, I'm going to bid you all farewell for the demonstration today. This has been AJ at KETRON, wishing you all a great, prosperous week. As you head into the Christmas season, think about your KETRON event, about your content, which you can get at www.AjamSonic.com, especially if you're looking for interesting styles and great sounds to bring out the best of your events. And if you're not a KETRON customer, this might be the time to hop on the wagon because of the sales that are going on currently within the various distribution networks across the globe. So check out www.AjamSonic.com and grab yourself a KETRON event, a variable of it, either the Event 61, or you can get the EVM if you like what you heard over here and you want to get that in this little box. Of course, you have to have a touch screen, all right? Or you can use your iPad if you want to control that. Or you can just get the Event X, which is the little box module without the keys and without all the weight and everything else. I shall see you guys in the next video. Take care.